Hi, quick disclaimer, this is a combination of dot points, off the cuff, and straight up reading. You will get the transcript warts and all. Having said that, let's get to it. These slides serve as a professional development resource for primary school teachers on online safety. The focus on digital footprints and identity reflects the growing use of digital platforms in primary classrooms and the need for teachers to explicitly address online safety within their everyday teaching practices. The background colour is an expanding blue gradient. This is to promote calm, not alarm, and maintain a central focus. The images on this slide are illustrations representing data traces, permanence, and identity formation. The use of visual metaphors was intentional, as this conceptual imagery can support engagement. This approach aligns with the strength-based online safety education principles which emphasise empowerment and understanding rather than restriction or alarm. Green was selected as a secondary accent colour as it is often linked to growth and learning, and thanks to the cultural influence of the Matrix movies, the presence of digital technology. Dark grey text was chosen for the subtitle so as not to distract from the title but also maintain clarity. I have also included a reminder for the presenter to include an ethical acknowledgement of country, although this will differ depending on where it takes place. Slide 2 introduces the concept of a digital footprint. It avoids technical jargon to support teacher understanding and any future classroom translation. Bullet points were intentionally used to maintain a high level of negative space in order to reduce cognitive overload and focus on the presenter and the main points they're making. Emoji icons were used to reduce distracting image referencing and purposely selected to emphasise that digital footprints are created through both live actions such as posting or commenting and passive processes such as data tracking and cookies. It's also worth pointing out that an active decision was made for the presenter to purposely click for bullet points to appear gradually for any slides that pose a question in order to prompt discussion. The search bar graphic is also introduced in this slide to represent everyday online actions, reinforcing the idea that even routine activities contribute to data traces. This visual choice supports research indicating that learners often underestimate the extent their everyday digital behaviours generate and store data. The inclusion of the phrase "often permanent," reinforced by the digital tattoo image, highlights a key concept identified in online safety research, while avoiding technical or legal language that may overwhelm the audience. Slide 3 builds on the previous slide by introducing the concept of digital identity. The points are supported through relatable emojis that show the range of interactions that shape it over time through profiles, commentary, and online interactions. I'm quietly chuffed with the primary image on this page. It could stand alone. It also drives the point that we are largely creators of our digital identity. It can evolve and aspects of online presence remain, making early guidance crucial. We also get better at it. It's also recognised that metaphorical visuals are effective in helping people conceptualise abstract ideas. Research on data literacy and digital participation supports the framing of identity as socially constructed and influenced by digital environments, which reinforces the need for guided learning rather than assuming students will develop these understandings on their own. The all-important why this matters. This slide explains why digital footprints and identity education are especially important in primary school contexts. This is a very serious matter, as indicated by the bold text and exclamation point, but also by the lack of imagery. These points are supported by research showing that young learners engage with digital technologies frequently, but may not fully comprehend long-term implications without explicit instruction. The emphasis on school-based platforms was intentional, as it positions online safety as a shared responsibility in educational settings, and not just an issue that exists outside of school. Slide 5 uses a statistic-based graphic to establish the extent of digital engagement among Australian children. The statistic was selected from eSafety Commissioner research to provide authoritative Australian-specific evidence. The information is purposely introduced per click in order to engage the audience in curious discourse. The graphic format was chosen to make numerical data accessible and visually clear for the teacher audience. Presenting it visually supports comprehension while avoiding cognitive overload and directly addresses the scale of the issue. The QR code is now almost an expectation in presentations, and its inclusion makes the source of the information directly accessible for the audience. The colours were also intentional: mild red for warning, blue for possible safety, and grey for the unknown. Woohoo! Slide 6 focuses on teacher responsibility and policy. The bullet points were intentionally limited to keep the slide uncluttered and professional. This slide, like its subject matter, is dull and kept minimal, but that's not to say the information isn't important. Again, there is purposeful inclusion of a large QR code, but also an arrow to indicate where it will take you, which is the National Online Safety Frameworks, which position teachers as active facilitators of safe digital practice rather than passive supervisors. Pedagogical research supports the idea that effective technology integration depends on teacher decision-making and pedagogical capacity rather than the tools themselves. Slide 7 outlines some common digital risks in the classroom. These risks were selected because they frequently occur in school contexts without malicious intent. The redaction used in the visual design reflects the idea that personal information, however private one thinks it is, can be revealed. This design choice aligns with research indicating that children may unintentionally contribute to their digital footprint due to limited understanding of privacy and permanence. Positioning these risks as developmental rather than behavioural avoids blame-based narrative and supports preventative educational approaches to online safety. Slide 8 introduces practical teaching strategies using my own patent-pending GEMS framework: guide discussion, explicitly teach, model behaviour, and set shared agreements. And yes, I purposely used verbs. This acronym is visually enhanced by first introducing the bold capitals and then providing the meaning associated with them in order to support recall while maintaining pedagogical accuracy. These strategies align with research emphasising that digital pedagogy should prioritise teaching decisions over technology itself. The quote subtly included in this slide reinforces this message and provides academic grounding without dominating the visual space. The accompanying illustration of a teacher guiding discussion was intentionally selected to represent teacher agency and modelling. Now, approaching the end of the presentation, it's time to start lifting the mood. This slide shifts from a focus on risk to a more positive strength-based approach by highlighting kindness, intentional posting, and reputation building. The use of emojis and warmer visuals overall supports engagement and is a deliberate move away from fear-based messaging. The search bar and title are also purposely curved to represent a smile. Research into digital citizenship suggests that a positive digital identity formation is supported through explicit teaching of pro-social behaviours, reflection, and guided participation in digital spaces. And now, the final slide. Synonymous with teaching and presentation are key takeaways, which are designed to support retention, such as the reintroduction of my yet-to-be-patented GEMS framework. These points reinforce that digital footprints begin in primary school, that teaching matters more than the tools, and that modelling plays a vital role in shaping digital identity. The inclusion of humour, which I hope you found amusing, in the final image, in my experience, supports engagement and makes the overall presentation memorable, particularly for adults. And lastly, of course, always thank your audience. And thank you very much for listening. Oh yeah, thanks Teach.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, cheers. Onza.
Yes, was he? Thank. I reckon that was an HD for sure.